Hello, hello, hello. Coffee is in the wrong place. Hello. Sound, sound, sound. All right. Stuff. I have to share this because I always forget every single time. I forgot to put the name of the movie. Damn it. Blade Runner. Such a good movie. All right, and now Facebook. Anytime now. At any time. Okay. All right. Hello to whoever is on here. Hi. Hey, babe.
You live?
Yeah. Yep. There's a third person on here.
Hey.
Like this, if you don't mind. That helps with the algorithm. Alrighty.
Did you share everything yet?
Yes, I need to start remembering to do that before the live stream starts. That would be cool. Are you gonna jump on here with me?
Yes.
Yay! I kind of like it when we live stream together.
I have to go next week first.
Oh, okay. What is a mukbang? Am I pronouncing that right?
Mukbang?
What the? Are you a chicken?
No, it's a mukbang.
Mukbang. Okay, the way you said it, you sounded like you were impersonating a chicken. I'm like, what is going on here?
I say things weirdly sometimes, lisps and everything else. Sorry.
What?
A mukbang is essentially like you sit and you talk to people while you're eating a shit ton of food. That's a mukbang. Where did you hear that?
I said something about eating popcorn. Somebody sent a message and they were like, are you going to start doing mukbangs? Because I'm totally into that. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. First off. Second off, I'm here to help people. Does that help people?
I didn't see that comment.
No, it wasn't here. It was
Like a Facebook Messenger?
I don't even remember at this point. Everything's kind of blurring together. But I was like, I don't.
You can muck while I bang. I don't know. Which one's the eating part?
Oh my
The
god.
mucking or the banging?
I don't know. Probably the mucking, maybe. There's so many
Okay.
different perverted ways we
You
could
can
go with
bang,
that.
okay?
We're not going to. Okay, well, keep that. I mean, all right.
Two things. One, this has to come back so that I can actually see whenever I come back up here to sit down.
Okay, but is the sound still good? That's my
Yes.
question.
The sound is still good.
Yes, but we know that I speak very low and I
Trust
carry a
me,
big
your sound is
stick.
still good.
Okay.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
go make the muck.
That just sounds gross. That I don't think anyone wants to eat muck. Okay, that's just not and say we did. Hi.
Did you know that muck spelled backwards is cum?
Oh Lord, go heat up your food. Okay. All right. So yeah. Ew. This. Now I have all kinds of ick in my head. That's great. All right. So Blade Runner. I love the book. The book is. Hold on. Because I had this pulled up. Let's see if it's still there or not. Because internet still being kind of slightly weird. Blade Runner is one of my favorite movies. Another one. And it is based on a book. See if they talk about the book in here, because the book was good. I very much enjoyed the book. Are they going to talk about the book? What are we doing here? Oh, come on. Okay, so it was written by Philip K. Dick, who is a phenomenal sci-fi writer. The book was written in 1968. A lot of good books came out in the 60s. Just saying. The name of the book was "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?" It is a good book. Highly recommend it. There was actually a second book. I actually had it. I don't remember the name of it now. I lost it in Katrina. Lost a lot of books after Katrina. Trying to see if they have the name of the second book in here. It was really obscure. A lot of people didn't even know it existed. So, yeah, I don't see it in here. Okay. All right. So you have androids who are called replicants, and there's always been a question with this movie if Deckard, the main character, was an android or not. Right. That's always been like a big controversy. And Rachel is one of the main characters, I would say. One of the few female, like, women characters. Turns out she is actually a replicant but doesn't know it. There was a lot of controversy with this movie when it came out concerning how Deckard and Rachel kind of hooked up. It was not exactly consensual, and I can see why a lot of women were bothered by it because it was problematic. But that movie, a lot of the sci-fi you watch now, the aesthetic of the movie, the sets, all of that are Thrift Books has a copy of the first book on their website, like first edition. Oh, because if I ever won the lottery, I'd have to have me a first edition of Blade Runner. or the book, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Oh, right, right. Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good book. And hello, Emily. Um, what, baby? I love you too. Um, yeah, so a lot of the movies you see now, they get their whole aesthetic and the idea of how vehicles might travel and all of this and that from Blade Runner, like how the look, like oh god, there are so many. Philip K. Dick was extremely influential in the sci-fi you see now. So like in The Expanse, there are aspects of Blade Runner and like other movies. Um, and a lot of the movies you've seen are based on Philip K. Dick books. Hold on, let me. By the way, Rutger Hauer was amazing in that movie. Let me see if they have like a list because it's kind of surprising. Most people don't know all of the books that he wrote that were turned into movies. Um, doo, doo, doo. Minority Report. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to see if there's a list on here of the books he wrote because there are a lot of them. Too Rich for My Blood too. I can't even imagine how much that would cost. That would be okay. Blade Runner, Total Recall. I thought that was another author. Based on the story, we can remember it for you wholesale. Okay. Um, Minority Report. I didn't know. I didn't even know he wrote that. Minority Report. Um, Paycheck. There are a bunch of other books I don't think that are on here. I know he was extremely influential on sci-fi. And the movie just I could sit off and rattle. I could sit here and rattle off like forever the TV series and movies and other books, etc., that he has influenced. That Blade Runner, in particular, influenced. Um, but on this channel, we talk about how women are treated in the world, and like different interactions that are abusive. And I use those as a tool to educate people on what is or is not abusive behavior, right? But I also love sci fi. I absolutely adore sci fi. I've been reading sci fi books since I was a kid, um, and all up in sci fi movies. So, Blade Runner, when it came out on, I think it was HBO, that's another movie. It was like every time it came on, I had to watch it. It was so good. Um, but whenever this movie got to the part where Deckard follows Rachel into the hallway and grabs her and like basically throws her up against the wall and is like really forceful and like really just kind of violent, and he's not really giving her a choice to consent or not consent. It's not, you know, you can tell there's like an interest between them in each other, right? But number one, she's in a very vulnerable place. She just found out she's actually a fucking android and not human, right? And you know, so her whole world is crumbling, and you see that after she figures out that she's an android. Her look changes, how her hair is. She's she goes from being very well put together, you know, strong, intelligent, whatnot, to she's all disheveled, her hair's all over the place, like, you know, makes up makeup's a mess, yada yada. Like her world was falling apart. So then he grabs her and he's like, I don't know, it's just I felt like it was unnecessarily done, and it just bothered women because you see that all the time in media. You see that happens all the time in real life. Um, I don't think it's necessary to view women in that light in the media. It'd be nice if that would just stop. Um, so yeah, Blade Runner is an amazing movie. Um, and Rutger Hauer at the end of the movie, he says a speech um, right before he dies, actually, and apparently that was improvised. He just came up with that whole speech, which is kind of really fucking amazing. Um, let's see. Can we find? I don't know if I have the speech on here, but it was quite beautiful actually. Um, and at the same time that, if I'm not mistaken, at the same time that Ridley Scott was making Blade Runner, he was also working on Legend, which was another of my favorite movies. And so some of the uh, sets that you see in Blade Runner were actually in Legend also, like the big columns and stuff like that. It's kind of interesting how that crosses over. Um, doo-doo-doo. Yeah, the music. God, that music was amazing. So good. And there are many versions. So if you're gonna watch this movie, I think I have a limited collector's item. It's like a suitcase, like, and it has 4 or 5 different versions of the movie. So everyone seems like real diehard fans of Blade Runner seem to all have our own favorite version. Like, do you like him narrating here and there or not? Do you, like, it's interesting. At points, there is a unicorn running through, which is from Legend. Why? I don't know, but I kind of like it. I like unicorns, so. The film holds a 90% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Well, so, neo noir sci fi. Yeah. It is a really good, very good movie. Hello to everyone who's on here. So at some point we are going to have open chat, and since there are more people on here, I'm going to lay some ground rules. If anyone's here to troll, you will be blocked and deleted immediately. I won't tolerate any of that. Last night was a fluke for this channel, and it will not be happening again. So, and those people who were trolling here last night, you were permanently banned. You are not welcome here. Because I don't have time for your bullshit. So, no trolling. From this point going forth, it will not be tolerated. You will be just done. I only let that happen last night for a reason. Let's see. Oh, there are a bunch of documentaries. Right on. Now I'm going to have to go watch all these documentaries. And then, of course, there's a sequel. I personally liked the sequel to the original. I thought they were very passionate about it, and that was good. They did a good job. I like the way they went with it. I know a bunch of my friends who are diehard Blade Runner fans can't stand the sequel, but you know, people can get really persnickety about their favorite shows and whatnot. Did you get the really spicy kind this time?
That you can't eat, yes.
Damn it, man.
It's literally all they had in stock.
Oh, man, I can smell. I can smell the spicy from over here. Jesus. Something about that sound is so satisfying.
I say that. It's all they had in stock in the easy microwavable ones that I don't have to put into a bowl or into a pot.
Right.
Self-contained.
Right. I get you. There are 6 people here. Hey, Leanne, how you doing?
Heyo.
What's up?
Bitterwood.
I kind of figured that this chat. I mean, I wanted to talk about Blade Runner, but I kind of figured that it might be more than that, considering last night. What?
I'm half into the conversation. I heard something about last night and then
Yeah.
Blade Runner.
Well, I laid down a ground rule earlier that if there's any trolling whatsoever, it will be block, ban, delete, all that good stuff.
I will screenshot you, and then you will be blocked from chat.
Yeah, we will not tolerate that from this point forward. The only reason I allowed it to happen last night was for a reason.
Gotcha.
But I do apologize to everyone who might have been hurt by that. Elsa wasn't.
I don't think Elsa was on at the moment.
I don't know if she was or wasn't. I sent her a message. She shot back that she stopped watching at a certain point. So
I figured.
yeah. So that's good. There are 6 people here. Hi, what's up? All right, so Blade Runner. If you get to the point where he's manhandling Rachel, and that's kind of, I guess you could say, it's kind of sort of the beginning of their relationship. You know, use that as an example of how not to go about starting a relationship. That was not consent. That was a good example of not consent. That was non-consent. You've seen that movie, right?
Blade Runner?
Yeah.
Yes, we've watched it many times.
Okay, I thought there was one that you hadn't seen, and I was like, what? How? So I have a low-key headache going on right now, just so y'all know. What?
Ginger Snap asking you a question.
Who?
Ginger Snap. Oldest.
Oh. Is she okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right, so I guess at this point we can start the open chat because it's kind of late and I don't want this to go on forever. And I could easily talk about Blade Runner forever. So what do y'all want to talk about? Do you want to go over what happened last night? I just watched the video about BX's X mods talking about their experience, and there was coercive control, manipulation.
By him to his mods?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. All right, so if this channel gets big enough that we get to the point where we need a bunch of mods, I'm just, gonna put this out there. Mods would not be treated as if their life should be revolving around this channel. I won't expect people who are at work to edit videos or whatever. I mean, if someone wanted to help me research, great, but that would not, I just don't understand.
I don't get it.
Don't understand.
I mean, there's such a thing as a control freak, but I think that's taking it a few steps too far beyond.
Yeah, that's just coercive control, and that is rather abusive. And then telling mods that they can't mod for other content creators, uh, that's clear signs of jealousy. And how are you going to control someone like that? Like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
let's say hypothetically this channel gets huge, whatever. We have a bunch of mods. I don't own them. I can't tell them not to go mod for other creators. I would rather that they didn't focus only on like this channel. I don't think that's healthy personally. I don't know.
I mean, there's very, very few employment contracts which say you will work for us and only us, nobody else.
Well, there are non-compete contracts. I've worked under those a couple times, but like he's not Apple or something.
Right, he's not a giant corporation that has to have like insurance on like everything
Right.
that they own.
Right, and they
and on
weren't.
their employees.
These people aren't being paid. Like what? Like I told you last night without telling my nephew what your channel is about. He said that was stalker behavior, and he's 19. Right.
Smart 19-year-old.
Smart kid. Yeah, I don't know. It's just if you have someone, and I keep saying this for a reason, abuse doesn't have to come from a significant other. It can come from anyone, right? So
What?
I'm so hungry right now, and you're moving that closer to
You
me.
said something about him. There's peach cobbler.
All right, I'm saying something. Anyway, abuse doesn't have to come from a significant other. It can come from people, like other people in your life. So, if you have someone who is demanding, like, they don't want you, like, you're a friend and they don't want you to have any other friends, that's a red flag. And that's weird. And that's just weird. A normal, healthy friendship or whatever kind of relationship wouldn't have any of that going on. And you have every right to have personal boundaries and set personal boundaries and limitations. And the other person has no right to stomp all over those. And that sounds like what he was kind of doing. But he manipulates people. These people actually really liked him. So he's charming. He ingratiates himself with people and then manipulates and tries to control from this side and that side. And, you can't bring up videos here and there. Well, that's controlling information. Why? Because if you see a video that's speaking about issues with BX, right? And you share the other people that you might share it with in the Discord or whatever may not have seen that video before, may not know about that, and therefore they will learn about that. He's trying to control information as much as he can so that everyone doesn't know. Do you see what I'm saying? That's kind of cult-like. Like if hypothetically, if this channel like got big and there were anti-me videos made or whatever, I wouldn't care if people shared them. If you have nothing to hide, then you would have no problem with that, I think. I'm waiting when it comes around again to tell people about your channel because I think it would help some of them. I mean,
we appreciate the help that you've already given us.
Yeah, thank you. When I was watching that video with, I might say this wrong, Sundry?
Sundry?
Yeah, it's the two or three of the X mods were talking about BX and dealing with all that. But there were a bunch of other people on there too. So I'm reading the chat. I'm listening to what they're saying and reading the chat. And it's a bunch of people. It is a lot of people. Sunshinery, right? Sun, Sunshinery. It is a lot of people. It isn't just, you know, and he makes it out to be like these are all just haters, all just trying to cancel him and coming after him and all this and that. And they're just bullies and trolls and whatever. It's a lot like KJ. There, in my mind, I was kind of comparing and contrasting KJ and this guy. Like maybe he doesn't dig into birth records and all that stuff and like whatnot, but there is an overlap of behavior going on, of toxic, negative behavior. And, yep. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like everything we've talked about, but there's a mass population that needs to hear this stuff. Yeah, yeah. Um, aggressive,
Aggravated.
aggravated.
Like when you hit an enemy
Yeah.
in a game and they get aggro to you because you're dealing most damage.
Yes, I know. I'm aware of what aggro means. I'm a walking dictionary, but okay.
You say that. There are words I have to explain to you, like mukbang.
I mean, you youngins with your weirdness. Um, yeah, I mean, what?
I love you.
I love you too.
You love my silliness.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I mean, in talking about this BX thing or KJ or, any of these other people, yes, I'm talking about them, but I'm not just talking about them. I'm talking about things that happen, that can happen in a person's life, just whatever. I'm using these situations and videos. You can go watch them for yourself, right? To help educate, you know. And eventually, I'm gonna start talking about, like right now, I'm talking about sci-fi movies, and I'm pointing out things that are problematic and how women are treated, right? So, and I'm gonna do that with others.
If I
Also.
may,
Yeah.
moderators and fans and anybody else that shows support for a channel are not replicants. You can't do with them whatever you want.
No.
They are human beings. Now, they may seem similar to replicants, but they're different. They have emotions. They are true. They are sentient beings. They're not manufactured constructs.
Yeah, no, his and was same with KJ. All of these content creators who a lot of them treat their mods and whatnot like they're replicants, like servants, and that's no.
You were put on this earth to do this job for me, and you do nothing else.
If you're a mod for a channel, you're not getting paid or whatever. I mean, some of them do, but typically you're not getting paid.
Right.
And so that content creator, I think, owes a level of respect to those mods, not abuse or whatever. Oh yes, I know, but if this happens on here, then it could be happening in their real lives. Exactly. Yes, I'm going to pin that. That is my point.
It's probably worse in real life too.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's more chance for like physical harm if it's happening in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I didn't through watching these other videos, I didn't realize that BX also threatened with Zales and Destroy. That guy, I don't know his real name. I don't know if Zales is his real name or not, but BX threatened his wife, children, and his mother. What does his mother have to do with anything? Why? But this is the level of maturity or lack thereof that you're dealing with. So
dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow. What's next? What else is in the lineup for this guy to threaten?
His weed. I think a lot of people seem to think that part of his problem comes from smoking too much and too powerful a strain of cannabis. And if that's the case, he needs to really cut that down because, not everyone can smoke cannabis or use cannabis and have a good outcome. Like it can make you really paranoid. And so I heard coercive control, manipulation, data mining. There was data mining going on. So much paranoia was described that it's actually kind of disturbing. His type of control is different than somebody who's doing obsessive behaviors for comfort, if that makes sense. If he's as paranoid as it seems, as these people are expressing, then he might be trying to find a place of comfort and create a situation that is more comfortable to him. The paranoia may be stressing him to the point that he doesn't really know how to handle it. But if he has bipolar, if he is paranoid or what have you, it behooves him to go get help and fix himself. I mean, right now he has built up a decent channel, or it was a decent channel, and he has a lot of opportunity going on. If he were to get help, go, mental health, go to therapy, maybe he needs meds. Maybe if he stopped smoking the weed and actually used, something for the bipolar or what have you, then he might actually be able to make it come back. But he has a lot of apologizing to do, it sounds like. Just from what has been described from people who have actually had these experiences with him, he's. Oy. So I have PTSD. Only I can fix me. Marcus cannot fix me. He is supportive. He can be there for me and help me. He knows when I'm triggered and he knows how to help me through that.
I point out exactly what triggered you as well.
Yeah, there were things I didn't even realize were triggers for me. And that's helpful. That helps me to fix the problem, right? But only I can fix that problem. I can't expect him to, come in and save the whole day and, everything's going to be perfect.
Big strong man only do so much. Cannot help but brain. Help break things, but not break brain.
No, don't break.
Can't put brain back together. Not work.
Yeah, only I can do that. So therefore, if he wants to get better and get his channel back on track, and it sounds like a lot of these people would forgive him if he would just
own up to his mistakes and apologize for them.
Yeah, take responsibility. Understand.
Try to be better.
It's a lot like KJ. People just want her to go get help. Same with. It sounds like it's the same with the ex. People just want him to go get help. So, mental health is so important. And a large part of the reason I actually started talking about VX is because I saw behavior that was a lot like KJ. One's a woman, one's a man, but there's similar abuse and tactics and toxic behavior going on. That's why when they said something about Marcus coming in to save the woman, I was glad to hear him correct him. Yeah, that was funny. That's funny.
Yeah, many things that she can do that I cannot, and vice versa. We make up for each other's strengths and weaknesses. We are partners.
Yeah, I don't expect him to save me.
This is her channel. I intervene on her behalf when she allows me to.
I just asked him to mug because, I know it's the internet. I know trolls are going to be a thing. Whatever. But, yeah. Well, especially when, I don't know if you, look. these people need to not talk to law enforcement if they ever commit a crime. They need to just ask for a lawyer immediately and then say nothing, just remain silent, just shh, because they will fuck themselves over so hard. Like they were saying things that like don't worry, I'm gonna do a video on that. It was, they said way more than they even realized.
IRL name of troll. You're under arrest. Lawyer. That's how the conversation should go.
Yeah, but they're too dense to. They probably think they're smarter than everybody. So they're smarter than the cops. That's never ever worked out right for much of anyone. But okay. Yeah. It was the whole methinks thou doth protest too much. With the whole, we don't know BX. Who is this BX? Okay, sure. Troll, you don't know him. But you keep on saying you don't know him. Right.
And then tripping up with like, my friends and I are here just because like we stumbled onto it. And then starts naming off the two main talkers along with him. Like, that one's not my friend and that one's not my friend.
Sure. You're all teens. Okay. Well, we know that certain people like to ingratiate themselves with teens. There's evidence and proof of that. There are tons of receipts. I'm just saying. That's okay. I have seen their screen names in other chats where they were immediately blocked and banned and said that they were affiliated with the X. So I'm going to go watch those other chats and reach out to people, and it's going to be a thing. It's going to be a thing. That's fine. And then the one was like something about I only usually last a few seconds or something, and I was like, no shit.
Even to your own hand.
Not a very good troll, you are.
I just got reminded of something.
What?
A friend of mine could complete within the loading screen of the Skyrim like intro.
Yeah. This is not the stream for that. I love you. No.
This was years ago.
Oh, sure. All right.
Sorry, my brain works by association.
I know.
And these are the dots that I connect. I apologize to everyone.
You wanted to say something so bad, but I was trying to be good. I mean, I think you did a great job because, I wanted to say a lot too, but I was just like, just let him do what he does.
You both handled yourselves very well.
Yeah.
I'm halfway through this double ramen.
I so hate you right now.
That's spicy. I'm sorry. I gotta build up my immunities for like going to work with people I don't know tomorrow. First time being around people for extended periods in time in almost a year.
Oh, that's true. That's gonna be weird. I'm thinking that the next Sci-Fi Sunday has to be Red Dwarf. Like we will do Rocky Horror at some point, but
Red Dwarf was good.
I miss Red Dwarf
the
so
episode
much.
or two that I saw with you.
Oh my god,
it was good.
It gets better. Like you got robbed, is what I'm saying.
It was before my time.
It's so good. We have to get a Red Dwarf collection going. Have to.
At some point. No, isn't it on Amazon Prime? I think it's on Amazon Prime.
No.
It was either through Amazon Prime and the HBO subscription that we have, or it was through the Showtime subscription that we have now.
So I have to apologize to everyone ahead of time if I fall into a Red Dwarf hole. I love Red Dwarf and Zatoichi. By the way, if you're into like
the Blind Swordsman.
Yeah, Japanese samurai movies.
She loves Zatoichi the Blind Swordsman.
Oh, all of them. Just
You've shown me one of the three, I think.
So good. Like you gotta be in the mood to chill for Zatoichi. Just saying. Um, love Zatoichi though. Something about watching, and I mean that actor was phenomenal. But something about watching a blind man just whoop some ass, and then just la di da walk away.
Yeah. The last two characters that I've made in D&D have blind sense within 10 feet of them, so he can literally be Zatoichi.
Oh wow! So I was saying, I know somebody who might come on for paganism. How do you want me to let them get a hold of you?
Channel email.
Yeah, we have email. I think. Hold on.
It's on our group's or our YouTube's description, bio about page, something like that.
Let me see. If I can figure out how to find it. Wait.
Click on you again.
Okay.
Your channel.
Okay.
About something about page. At the bottom. At the bottom, the about page.
Right on. Right on. Yeah, and I'm also on Twitter. I'm on the Twitters.
On the Twitters, on the Facebooks, on the Gram.
Yeah. Hello to everybody who's on here.
Yo.
I hope everybody's okay. Elsa, if you're on here, I know I'm not wearing the blue today. My eyes were kind of hurting. The blue.
Probably from that primer that you had on yesterday.
Yeah. Apparently, I can't wear that primer either.
She said something about a mukbang, so I'm eating. There's a double order of spicy chicken ramen.
Right. Yeah, I'm just gonna end up with all ColourPop. It's looking like, which I don't understand why. Apparently, they're considered drugstore, but I don't get that. Like, what? I've never seen ColourPop in a drugstore. If I did, I would dive into it.
They're probably closer to California, where they're actually based out of.
Drugstore? What are you talking about? In the drugstore in California?
Yeah.
When are we moving to California?
You let me know. You guys let us know.
If I walked into a drugstore and saw ColourPop, I would fall over on the floor, then I would dive into it, and we'd have to buy all of it. It'd be like, mine.
That is a combination of old God and spices at the back of my throat.
Not even kidding. I had no allergic reaction to that blue.
Or the purple, or the green.
I don't know. I do know that I am amazed and thankful, and ColourPop is never allowed to like close or whatever until I have a good collection of everything.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm not done yet. I'm just taking a break.
Food break.
Food break.
If you went into a drugstore in California, you would pay $40 for a $10 product? Fuck that. What the? Suck my dick.
Let's go. Wait, I got it. Let's go to Washington, where there's a shit ton of overcast everywhere.
Oh. That might not be a bad idea for me.
As long as you're not moving the forks, because they might actually think you're part of Twilight.
I don't. Well, I do kind of sort of glow. But no, glittery vampires are evil. All right, that I refute.
They're overgrown.
I reject.
Fairies.
Okay, look. Well, then just don't call them fairies. Wait, don't call them vampires if they're fairies. Just don't. Whoosh.
Let's not get started on the Native American werewolves. We went from sci-fi to fantasy. How you liking it?
I love fantasy too, though. But, oh God. So no glitter
and no vampire.
Well, I love a good vampire movie. Okay, I do. But old school goth here. Many goths are like glittery vampires. What in the fuck? What the actual fuck? What?
One of the biggest pranks you can do to a goth industrial vampire, like from her time, and like me kind of like coming into the late section of it, is
Douse them in glitter.
yeah, douse them in glitter.
Yeah.
It's called twilighting. Just going.
Well, I mean, back in the day, that was just called being a dick. But
Nowadays, it's got official term. It's called twilighting. Just go.
man, glitter has to be a consent thing. That's another thing where I can educate people. There must be consent for glitter, because that you can never ever get rid of that, ever.
I found glitter on my thumb. I don't know how I got it there.
Probably from me.
Probably from you.
Yeah, because I do have glitter on my eyes. I just whatever. But see, I chose to put that there. Like, right? Twilight did not follow the rules. Yeah,
They took the rules and then they went, eh,
what
it could be
else?
better. And
What
throws notes onto it that are like from.
I heard that it was actually originally about the Fae folk, which I don't know if that's true or not. That's what I heard.
It's what's the word? Help me out, man. Help me out. It's based off of a
Fanfic?
yeah, it's a fanfic of a fanfic blog post. Yeah.
What?
It's a fanfic of a fanfic blog post.
But then you had 50 Shades of Grey, which was fanfic of Twilight, which was fanfic of something else.
Yeah.
Can we stop with the fanfic? With the shitty fanfic? There's really good fanfic out there. But I'm just.
You've seen Commander Shepard, and I'm not going to finish that sentence.
I made a big deal about it to the kids, and the kids were like, "That's normal for vampire stuff," and I was like, "What world are you guys living in?"
Like, no,
No.
sweetheart, no. Vampires see sunlight and they go.
Show them Bram Stoker's Dracula,
Queen of the Damned,
Francis Ford Coppola. There you go, Queen of the Damned, Lestat, etc.
Daybreak. That was a good vampire.
That was
movie.
another. That was another good one.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh Lord, there are so many that are really, really, really good. And the vampires are not whiny little bitches. That was what irritated me the most, the whininess.
Yeah.
I think even beyond the glitter, I was like, all right.
Well,
like,
in Daybreak, there's a couple of funny little bitch vampires.
Yeah, but I mean, still, other than Lost Boys.
Oh yeah, Lost Boys that's a classic.
Kind of cheesy now. It was kind of cheesy then,
It's a cult classic.
but it is, kind of a classic. I don't think they'll watch movies with me after the Twilight deal. All right. Well,
all right.
I do love a good vampire movie. I actually kind of, in my mind, have a screenplay for a vampire movie.
I'll be back.
Okay. Alrighty. Can you turn that back on? Because that blue is kind of... There's a lot of blue in this house right now. Jesus. Lots of blue. Oh, Transylvania. I have not been there yet. I've been to Europe, but I haven't been to like Romania and places like that. But I would love to go. Lots of history. Lots of history. So hi to whoever is on here. Hi. Baby. Daddy went to the kitchen. Yeah, so what, baby? I love you, baby. There's a cartoon movie where the guy is a vampire and he's crusty but sweet. Yeah, there's some really good vampire books out there that I've read over the years where it wasn't your typical Dracula motif, if you will. Um, and a couple of them were interesting because the vampire was actually kind of the good guy, like the anti-hero, and the vampire slayer was actually the problematic one, really, in reality. Like, it's, I like it when authors kind of take that, the theme of the vampire and all that, and kind of, play with it and have fun with it, but in an interesting way, not in a weird, whiny, emo, creepy way. Like, basically, in Twilight, what's his face? I don't even remember the name of the vampire now. Um, he was actually doing some really creepy shit, like going into her bedroom while she was asleep and just standing there and watching her. Tell me that's not creepy. That's creepy. That's not, that is not romantic. Um, that is some seriously stalker shit. And what? Yeah, I think those are the older ones that can't make sense of the newer ones. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Anne Rice nailed it with the vampire genre and the witching genre. Like, her books are really good. Well, she kind of went off the rails for a minute there and then she came back. But yeah, we have the Anne Rice Vampire Ball here in New Orleans normally, and I've been to many of them. So much fun. And the costumes, oh my good lord, just amazing. Look up uh, Anne Rice Vampire Ball, like photo galleries, and you might see me in some of those photos. And Theater Vamp as well, and a bunch of other people I know. Actually, this one year I couldn't go to the Vampire Ball, so I did makeup for a bunch of people who went, and Anne Rice like complimented them on their makeup, and I was like, "Ooh, ooh." Do kind of remember Cruise doing that in one of his movies, but he's looking through the window before he fainted. Yeah, yeah. The Anne Rice Vampire Ball's been going on a long time, and it's wow, just wow. The costumes people put together for it are, it's no joke. People take that seriously. Like, there are people who will get their costume when one vampire ball ends, they'll have started on the next costume for the next year, and they're extravagant. It reminds me of Venice Carnival in a way. It's very, you have a lot of Rococo and Victorian, and it's just amazing. It's just wow, so amazing. And then some of the costumes are more cheesy, but like uh, the last one I went to, I saw some amazing Akasha outfits that were just fucking stunning, you know? And like, people take that shit seriously. So you'll see Lestat walking around, you're like, damn, that could actually be Lestat or Louis or whoever. Um, and at the first one, Kirsten Dunst was there in the dress. We have something similar every year. I think it's called Freakers Ball. I don't know where you're at. Yeah, Anne Rice's Vampire Ball is around Halloween time. You have tons of balls and masquerades around Halloween time. You have like the witches. What was that? The witches ball. Um, yeah, yeah. God, I can't even remember. There are so many balls and masquerades and parties and whatever. Missouri, right on. How is it in Missouri? Is it a nice place to live or does it suck? I'm just curious. Baby. Um, I can hear the sigh over the internet. It's dot 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 sigh. Right on. Like I love it here in New Orleans, but things have been just weird here. Like rents are just way too high for what they should be. Like there's just a lot of weird, I don't know. Um yeah, we're having a little bit of separation anxiety going on. So, um I wonder if I can do this just with the monitor. It is hard to apply makeup while looking in the monitor. Hmm?
What did I miss?
I appreciate the kind people, but they are very conservative to a scary point. We are the back alley for drug trafficking. Damn. Okay. Which means there's other kinds of, like human. That's that's a scary place to be then, especially if you have children. I mean, New Orleans, it's probably similar because we're a harbor city. I don't even know if it's possible to get away from that shit at this point. It's all over the country. I live only 20 miles from the most traveled highway for it. Damn. No pressure. It's not scary or anything. Baby. Her voice is just. Okay, baby. Her voice is just so cute. I can't tell what she's saying. All I see is cuteness. Yeah, there's just like no empowerment. People try to push others down all the time, if that makes sense. Wow, that's sad.
It was very sad.
I went to Missouri one time years ago, but there was like a tornado. It was a tornado or a flood. I was working disaster relief.
Probably a tornado.
I don't even remember where I was in Missouri.
Is there Missouri part of the tornado alley thing?
If I'm not mistaken. It was weird. We had like 3 or 4 tornado disaster things we had to work like in a row, and it was a lot. Joplin, I think that might have been it. Maybe I may have my notes still from that. I don't remember, but it was bad. It was a lot, and it sucked. But yeah, so from this point forward, we have rules. We have ground rules. No trolling will be allowed. My house, okay. No trolling, no being abusive to other people in chat or in comments. Like we're gonna have some ground rules. I bet you weren't expecting it though. What, the trolling last night? No, I wasn't expecting that. Well, I kind of thought it might happen because it seems like anyone who talks about BX, it happens. So I thought there might be a chance, but I'm such a small channel that I was like, why would he even bother? Let's see. I was gonna update y'all. We have 98 subscribers. Woot woot. I know that, when you look at other channels, whatever, that doesn't seem like a big deal. But I mean, we're coming at this from a different angle. So I'm kind of pretty thrilled about that. Having 98 subscribers is a good thing. So what did I have yesterday? Yeah, I think it was 96 yesterday. Yeah, that's pretty good. One person had messaged me and said they liked the fact that I was talking about the abuse that was going on, and they learned things from that, and that's the point. That's why we're here. um, you know, and yes, to that person, yes, that abuse can happen from. I keep saying this, and I keep saying this so people will listen and hear it. Abuse can happen from um, coworker, friend, a teacher, a fellow student at school, um, you know,
Family.
just, yeah, family. Um,
Random person walking down the street or walking into your place of business.
Yep, in-laws, whatever. Abuse can come from anywhere if you are aware of it, and if you have the tools to understand that it's abuse and understand that you don't have to put up with it, ow, um, then you can kind of combat it and keep it from affecting you. And that's the whole point, keeping it from affecting you, from hurting your mental health. Like the live stream where the mods were talking, the Sunshinery, they touched on it a little bit. I don't know if they fully understood that all that stress and whatnot, they were being expected to kick people for the slightest thing that they didn't agree with, and they didn't actually want to kick people for these things, but BX expected them to and told them to. So they were put in a position they were uncomfortable with. They didn't actually want to do it, and it was uncalled for. So what they were describing was that it actually affected their mental health. So if you're in a situation around someone and you can, if you feel your mental health is kind of taking a hit, take a step back from that person. Just, see how you feel after like a week or two. If your mental health improves, that is your mind and your body telling you that that person is toxic. Listen to that. And actually that I learned a good deal about that from a victim's advocate in domestic violence court. Me and her had some amazing conversations about that. See, I knew Jackie from other channels. She's really sweet and normally would listen to her. But she was sticking with BX, and I figured she just couldn't see it yet. Yeah, I mean, when you're in the abusive situation, it can be hard to see. That's why I'm doing these videos.
Yeah.
It can be because you're questioning, you're like, is this really happening? Is this really abuse? Is this really, am I just being sensitive? And, yada, yada, yada. You question yourself, but really you should be questioning the person who is creating the situation, not yourself.
Whenever we met, you were pretty much right after we met, you started getting me out of an abusive situation.
Yeah, and that was with a friend. Well, friend.
Friend/employer.
I mean,
I never got
he never paid you.
monetarily compensated them.
Right, he never paid you a wage, but in his mind, that was abuse. But see, it wasn't just me saying that. It was your family. It was other friends. It was,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to do a stream about how we met, I guess. Yeah, because I know there's the funny bit, but, how you were being treated was abuse. That was,
Yep.
my employer friend is the worst. Huh. Sure. Well, okay. I will have to figure out when we'll do that.
Okay.
I have to. My sleep schedule got messed up some kind of way because insomnia. So somehow tonight I'm going to try to get myself back on a normal schedule of sleep.
She's only been up for like 4.5 hours.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I had so much I was going to do today. Like I had things to do. Insomnia needs to stop. So yeah, so I am tomorrow I have another list of videos to record. Like, and this is like the stuff I was researching that was really, really hard on me. So yeah, there are gonna be more videos soon, like just regular recorded videos. I might actually write up like a list of rules or something. Wow, 2-hour increments? Oh man.
Well, that's one way to be productive. It is a
Yeah.
plausible sleep cycle.
I mean, that would be better than me where I can't sleep and I just can't.
Yeah.
And then when I finally crash, I'm just like out for.
Yeah, apparently the best way to do that is to do 2 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep, and then another 2 hours of sleep.
Well, for some people, everyone's different.
Well, that was done in some scientific study. That was apparently the best way to operate it, because the 2 hours of sleep is like your little nap in between physical activities. The 4 hours is where you enter REM sleep. So your brain actually takes that extended break that it needs.
Right.
Because you don't hang out in REM very long. So that 4-hour stint allows you to hit REM for that short stint that your body actually needs.
Well, my brain just, sometimes it just doesn't want to stop. It just, keeps going. So, but. Oh, right. Right. She has narcolepsy.
Yeah.
My dad has that too. And, he can talk the paint off a wall. I love him, but I'm serious. He can talk the paint on the wall and then back off the wall. But on occasion, he'll just like kind of get quiet. Well, he's not as bad now. Like this was a couple years ago. He would just be like, I'm talking and I'm like, are you awake? Like what? What is happening?
Hey, your Amazon package is shipped. That'll be here Tuesday.
All right.
Yay!
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So I have so much to do tomorrow. I have to sleep tonight. I have to. Not again. Oh, she's so tired. All right, I'm gonna have to get going because we have to do baby stuff and do sleepy time, whatnot. But like I'm gonna try to start streaming every day, but sometimes that's hard. But Marcus is starting a new job tomorrow, so his work schedule will be different. So it might be easier for me to. It's hard for me to stream or record videos when it's just me and baby girl here. Because normally she has my full attention all the time. So for her, it's kind of weird for me not to be, revolving around baby girl. Basically what I do. But yeah, so I want to start streaming like more more consistently. Like I need things to be more consistent is what I'm saying. But what baby?
She's probably get to sleep.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I was gonna say something else.
Chicken nuggets.
We're gonna on the next recorded videos, I'm gonna be diving into like the true crime part, um, and pointing out, abuse and all that stuff, like I do. Um, and I just want to put here for anyone who like is watching or is watching the replay, whatever. There will be trigger warnings. I want you to know that ahead of time. Some of it is pretty hard, but instead of looking at true crime as entertainment, I want to look at it as education and helpful for people. So, all that good stuff. But yeah. All right. So I may be back on tomorrow. What time do you get off work?
Between 3 and 5. I can't remember.
Right on. Okay. Just let me know when you're on your way.
Oh.
All right. We'll see what happens tomorrow, y'all. And if you have a chance, go watch Blade Runner. Such a good movie. And yeah,
To the outro.
you have the right to say no. You are not, in fact, a replicant. And if your no is not respected,
Cut the person out your life.
Yep.
Like, bye, Felicia.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for it. All right, y'all. Goodbye.
Bye.
I hope everybody's okay.
Like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the bell, click all.
Do all the things. And bye, Elsa.
Bye. 'Twas a good